Election day is fastly approaching, and many people in Kentuckiana are casting their ballots before November 5th. WDRB's Dalton Godby explaining when and where you can early vote. And Dalton, if you want to avoid the election day line, this may be the way to go.
Yeah, that's the goal for these early voters, is to cut down on that line. Early voting got started earlier this month over in Indiana. It begins tomorrow here in Kentucky. Some election officials are projecting record turnout. Casting a ballot early has become a popular option for voters across the country. And in Kentucky, important dates are approaching.
My big message the next 2 weeks is to beg and plead with voters to please, if you can, vote early, because I don't want lines on Election Day.
Here are the options for voters in the Commonwealth. Tuesday is the last day to request a mail-in absentee ballot. Those have to be mailed back by 6 p.m. on election night. The state says it's already received 121,000 requests for absentee ballots. That's 40,000 more than the last presidential election.
That's a massive number. And if that number represents 2 or 4% of the total votes to be cast, we're going to have millions of people voting in this election.
In-person excused absentee voting begins on Wednesday. The polls will be open until Friday, and then again from Monday to Wednesday next week. But anyone else who wants to vote early can do so from October 31st to November 2nd. And Election Day is November 5th.
Make a plan before you vote. That includes being informed about who you're voting for and what you're voting on.
In Indiana, early voting has been underway since October 8th. And traffic is really starting to pick up. Officials here in Floyd County tell me thousands of people have already voted.
So far we have over 8,809 people in a 9-day window. So for a county of about 55,000 plus voters, it's a good start.
At this voting center in Floyd County, the polls were busy Tuesday.
You come in and usually there's no line at all, and it's pretty much simple and easy.
In Indiana, mail-in ballots must be requested by Thursday, and in-person early voting runs through November 4th.
We have a great community here, and I think everybody just wants to get in, vote, and get out.
There is some helpful links for information like poll locations as well as sample ballots. You can find the links to that info on our website at WDRB.com.
All right, Dalton, one thing the Secretary of State said: to know what you're voting on in Kentucky, it's important that voters are familiar with those constitutional amendments that are also on the ballot this year.